Abigail, and welcome to my YouTube channel about everything having to do with books. I'm so sorry I haven't been able to post a video for the last couple of weeks. That's because I was out of town, but it led me to think about the topic that I'm going to be talking about in this video. Now, during the summer, a lot of people go on vacation, and for me, one of the most important things to plan when I'm getting ready for a vacation is the books that I'm going to read during that time. For me at least, the perfect vacation book is one that isn't terribly long, but is really still intriguing, fast-paced, and well-written. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some books that I myself read in one sitting. These books are perfect for a day in the car, or a day waiting at the airport, or sitting on the beach. So, I hope you enjoy books that I read in one sitting. The first recommendation in this video is from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler by E. L. Konigsberg. I will admit, the reason I picked this up is because it was mentioned in an episode of The Office, but it was still an enjoyable read. It's quirky and fun, if a bit odd at times, featuring a realistic sibling relationship and a detailed map at the beginning, which is always a plus. The next book on the list is That Was Then, This Is Now by S.E. Hinton, the author of The Outsiders. I did not expect to enjoy this book as much as I did. It's about two best friends who are beginning to grow apart now that they've grown older, and is told in the same gripping style as The Outsiders. Plus, it also features some cameos from characters in The Outsiders, so long story short, if you like The Outsiders, you should read this book. Next up is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, the classic children's sci-fi novel that I somehow never got around to reading. It's completely mind-blowing and a relatively short read, and I would definitely recommend reading it if you haven't gotten around to yet. Next is the first book in the Kidnap trilogy by Gordon Corman, The Abduction. It's a trilogy about a young girl who is kidnapped by her parents' political adversaries. Although some of the dialogue can make you roll your eyes at times and it's a little bit cliched, it's definitely an intriguing read, and I can't wait to read the rest of the trilogy. Next is The Willoughbys by Lois Lowry, which I read during a long car ride. It's slightly dark for a children's story, but still enjoyable. And it was developed into an animated film in 2020, which I haven't seen yet, although I've heard good things about it. Next is Four by Veronica Roth, a series of short stories told from the point of view of one of the major characters in the Divergent trilogy. Although some parts of it felt like you were just reading Divergent all over again, I definitely recommend it for any fan of the trilogy. Next is another book that I'm surprised that I never read when I was in elementary school, Little Prince. It's a very short and symbolic read that would be good for a rainy day or a long car ride. The next book is another royally themed title, The Dying King by Julie Cave. It's the first in an intended fantasy series, although it's been 7 years and a sequel has not yet been published. This first book feels more like an introduction to each of the different characters in their lives than an actual story, but still, it's an intriguing read with really great world building. This next recommendation is more of an honorary recommendation for two reasons. First of all, it's the fourth book in the Royal Ranger series, which is a spin-off of the longer Ranger's Apprentice series, so in order to read this book, you'd have to read all of those books before it. Secondly, the main reason why I read this book in one sitting is because I read it during a long car ride. But still, that doesn't change the fact that this book is an incredible read, with a great story, great characters, and an amazing plot. If you are interested in starting a long fantasy series, The Ranger's Apprentice is definitely a great place to start. I will definitely be making more videos about that, so stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it gave you some recommendations that you might be taking with you on your next vacation. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and please let me know if there's any specific videos you want me to make or books you want me to talk about down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and now for a bookish quote. There's no such thing as a kid who hates reading. There are kids who love reading and kids who are reading the wrong books. James Patterson. Thank you so much for watching this video. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time.